Welcome back to This or That, an NBA podcast. We have a very special video today. We're going to be talking about the top performers in Summer League, what they've been doing well, what they need to work on, and we're going to highlight some specific aspects of their game. We're going to talk X's and O's. This is two dudes in the trenches talking hoops, Summer League. Matt, how are you feeling on it?
I'm good. I've actually watched a lot more Summer League than I have in previous years. I mean, obviously, I watched Mobley when he was there. Did not look that great in Summer League, which is...
You didn't love him then?
Yeah, considering now he's like my favorite player. But there was a lot of guys that had rough starts. Wemby, we can start with him. But I think there's a lot of guys that showed a lot of promise. And it's been very competitive, and I felt like it's felt different this year. Like, Summer League's for all the hardcore.
It's the AAU, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Summer
League. They all played against each other. AAU, they're all like used to playing in a gym like that with nobody in it, fucking getting crazy runs up, big jumps. They're all crazy athletes. This is a stocked class.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely a different kind of feel to Summer League for sure. But
AAU, bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah, let's get to Wemby first. Obviously, the headliner of Summer League. I think obviously did not have a great offensive game one, but what did we say on here when we did our mock draft? We said the defense is going to translate right away. 5 blocks in the first game.
Yeah, immediate.
Yeah.
Closeout blocks too. Blocking like closeouts on the wing, mid-range jumpers.
I mean, he's an absolute freak. But my notes on him, I think game 2, you saw the true potential of what could be. And I think that's a scary, scary sight for the NBA.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think he'll get it all figured out in year 1. I've been adamant on that. I think he might have a slightly disappointing rookie season in comparison to what a lot of people are expecting him to average, like 25, 12, and 4. Like, he's not going to average that. Like, he'll probably be at like 17 and 8 and 2 blocks, block and a half. Like, I think
which is still stuffing the sheet.
Absolutely. I just think the hype is so high, but I think you saw the true potential of what he can be in game 2.
I don't even know if that was the ceiling.
I know it's definitely not, but I think that was like really put on display. And I also think you got to see how he's really a 3-level scorer.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Laterally, getting up and down the floor, movement pattern, like he didn't look like an injury prone. He didn't look like he was going to get hurt.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is obviously we had Ben on a few weeks ago for the go to training. And so I was paying attention to that actually. And I think he's pretty good. And he also, I remember there was stuff about AD and they were teaching him how to fall. Wemby falls great for a big guy.
Yep.
Like, as crazy as that sounds, he falls great.
Good shout. No, it's important. It's like how Ja falls well.
Yeah. Like, it's important for especially taller guys and guys that are shorter and jumping like that high. I think that's super, super important. He falls really well. It looks unnatural, but like, he's 7'5". Like,
he's great. He's a graceful French motherfucker, and you could tell he doesn't move. He doesn't move like he's about to twist an ankle.
Yeah, and I mean,
like he's a pretty fluent glider, kind of.
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be times where the weight that he's not heavy enough. It's in spurts. Like, I think.
How much does he weigh? Hold your horses. Are you seriously enjoying this fire content without liking, commenting, and subscribing? We're glad you're here at This or That NBA podcast. We want you to stick around. It's easiest to do that by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It's free. It takes 1 second, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
225, maybe? I mean, which is still heavy, but at 7'5", it's not that heavy. I don't know if that's correct or not, but it's definitely light. Like, he's
like 190.
No, he's more than that. He's over 210, I think.
Yeah, but you'd have to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
You'd simply have to be.
I think my 2 kind of gripes with Wemby are, one, he has to become a better passer out of the post. I think when you get him in the mid post, like at the free throw line, he's faced up, he can make plays from there. But I think if you're on the short corner and you're posting up, I think he needs to be able to work on that skip pass to the opposite corner, because I think that's what's going to be really important.
Let me interject, though. They don't do that too much overseas. That's not really
true.
I mean, they obviously throw a fucking skip pass. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just going to take him a little bit to get used to American offense.
Yeah, and also, like, he was confused in game 1, and what did he come back with in game 2? 27, 12, and 2. Like,
a clean assassin 27, 12, and 2, where he's like a legit floating all over the court.
Yeah, and that was like really my only thing. I think he's just gonna have to get comfortable in the American game, and I think that's like what needs to happen for him to really get to the level that everyone expects him to. I don't think it's a year one thing. Like the kid's 19 years old. He's 2 years younger than me, which is wild to even think about. Um, but yeah, I just think if he can work on the post game and like actually use his size, like I think if he can go and maneuver more with like the angles and like the agility and the speed that he has at 7'5", opposed to trying to use strength, which he does a good job of not relying solely on strength. I think that'll be really important. Yeah, the footwork's there. I think he's going to be really, really good. But,
Him and Chet are going to go at it.
yeah, Chet I like a lot. But
last thing, before we move on, how do you feel about? I read a report, and this is out there. How do you feel about the Spurs playing him 63 games this year, sitting him on back-to-backs and road trips, and then he stays away from the team on road trips and lifts?
No.
Okay. Just want to get your feel on that. Something I read.
I don't know who would post that. I think you, as much as you can play at 7'5", you want to play.
I will show it to you. I'll find it when we get off.
But I think for when
might have been Bill Simmons. I think it was Bill Simmons.
He's very up and down. His takes.
It was Bill.
But yeah, I mean, I think he'll be great, no doubt. But
I love this next cat right here.
Yeah, next guy, Keyonte George from the Utah Jazz.
I
from
love
Baylor.
this kid's game.
I think he's going to be pretty damn good. He might be better.
Reminds me of Tyree, bro.
Yeah. I was watching the game versus the Timberwolves. Great passer. I think that's going to translate right away.
Great vision.
Yeah, definitely comfortable with the ball in his hands. I think he's also ultra confident, which is super, super important in the NBA. Like, if you're going to be good, you have to be ultra confident, which is a thing that I know a lot of guys struggle with, like young role players that aren't like the guy. They struggle with that. And so as a guy coming out 16th pick, like that's generally a role player, unless you're like really good, like a Giannis or Kawhi Leonard or something like that. You kind of lose that confidence a little bit. Like guys, when they're not making threes early in their career, that's where that confidence goes. But I think he's ultra, ultra confident. He also gets to his spots and hits them. He's a hell of a shooter.
3-level scorer.
No doubt.
33-10. 12 of 14 from the field, 6 of 15 from three. Definitely gun trigger happy, not gun shy. He had one on the right wing. He was in triple threat on the left side of his hip. He kind of ripped right, ripped left, slow rip across his waist, and he pulled from that right pocket like this. Where he kind of came across a little bit, and then it came out of the right pocket and straight up on the side of his body. Very Kyrie-esque. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I know we're talking.
You know what play I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I know we're talking a lot about his shooting, but there was definitely some really good cutting from him, which I think is really, really important because not a lot of guys cut well in the NBA.
He was supposed to go top 10 now.
Not in any of the mocks I saw, but I know people like thought he was going to be really good. But I think one of the more important things that like a lot of people are saying is that he's like a sneaky athlete, and not in terms of like super bounce, but like the body control, like when he's in the lane, like absorbing contact and still finishing. Like there was a couple plays where he had an and one or two, and it was like, whoa, that's kind of like crazy.
Really good ball control on the spin too. He had a couple nice jellies.
Yeah, I think he'll be a nice fit for the Jazz. And obviously he's going to have to beat out guys like Colin Sexton, all that kind of stuff. But
shouldn't be a problem.
We'll see. Any other comments on him?
No, I'm ready to move on to Bates.
Yeah, so highly controversial on this pod, which is
is it though? Because are we on the same page now?
We might officially be on the same page. I'm officially liking Emoni Bates now.
Absolutely transferred over 3 days. All it took was 3 days.
3 games, 6 days, something like that. Game 1 I was a little nervous. I was like, are we serious here? It's progressively gotten better. And I think the biggest thing for that is that he's not thinking of himself, or maybe he is, but he's not playing like he's the guy and has to do everything. I think that's super important. Huh?
He's used to that.
Yeah, he's definitely like been the guy all his entire life. Like he was winning player of the year over Chet as a sophomore in high school. Like he was insane. But I think if you're the Cavs, he can't think that I'm going to shoot 15 times a game. Like if he's going to get significant minutes, he can't shoot 15 times a game, especially right away, unless he gets like 30 minutes, then he can shoot 12 times. I don't care. But I think the jump shot is so pure. It's definitely a little streaky, but the jump shot's definitely there.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah, and I think you saw it a lot in the last game versus the Grizzlies. You saw him start to just like be ready to shoot more and just on the catch, one motion up in every time. Barely his shots in that game barely even hit the rim. He played unbelievable that game. If we get that on a consistent basis, like we're going to be a really, really good team offensively. But
he might be the piece.
Maybe. I think
bro, this is what me and Slim were saying. I'm telling you, like, you don't even know what you just
I understand, but I need a guy with a little more
35th pick or whatever it was.
48.
You just waltzed into him. I was on the record pre-draft. I'll take him 21.
Yeah, you did say that. But I
no
think,
questions asked, I would have taken him 21.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that at 49, that's the time you just take a flyer on a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're really soul searching for the best fit. You can be. I would have liked the
you
guy.
See a name like that late, you're just like, well, let's take a fucking shot at him.
Yeah, and I think that's fine, especially in the position the Cavs are. I think that's a solid pick. But and I just think for the regular season, if he's going to play, I think he needs slightly better ball movement. There was a couple times where they were driving baseline. He stayed a little farther out on the wing than I would like instead of going all the way to the corner. But there was a couple plays where they threw it to him and he made a wing three. That left wing, butter from there. Like
he's attentive on defense. Obviously, he didn't stuff the sheet. He didn't get 5 steals and 5 blocks, but he's in his zone.
No, he had a couple
covers.
He's like he doesn't foul. Like he won't go.
He's good at going straight up.
Yeah, he's good at going straight up. Like it's kind of like the fake AAU defense, but like if he put effort behind it, it'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, he has good mobility. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
I feel like he zips around the court a little
also,
bit.
I've heard a lot of things. He's been in the weight room big time. So
I'm sure he has, dude. I'm sure he's trying to bulk up. I mean, he has a frame that is applicable to put muscle on. It's one of those like wide concave chests.
Yeah, if he can get to I mean, that's a ton of weight, but I think he's 190 right now. If he can get to 210 or 215,
that's a pretty steep ass.
I know, bro. It's a lot. But if he can get to that and like guard a wing player, like he's going to be. But
he's a huge deal.
Yeah, I think he could have an impact, which is not where I was pre-draft. But let's move on to the guy that I kind of wanted us to draft, but has been playing lights out, playing better than your first round picks.
He's playing awesome.
As we said, hell of a 3-and-D player. I was telling Finn.
Yeah, you love him.
I wanted him. One of my friends is a big college basketball guy. He's telling me, he's like, dude, he'd be perfect for the Cavs, and he's perfect for any team, honestly.
His little baby hook is nice. He's got good footwork.
I think you're thinking of the wrong guy here.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. All right.
He hit one on that left block. It was a nice one.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that we can even get him confused with someone else. He's down there taking baby hooks. He's catching lobs. I saw him catch one nice lob. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Shooting the shit out of the ball.
Yeah, and I think a thing that is important is that he plays the right way. That was like my main takeaway, is that he's not going to be a guy that wants to shoot the ball 25 times. Like he knows that he's going to be a role player in the NBA. I feel like he's playing, like obviously he's one of the stars of Summer League, but when you go and you play with Dorian Finney-Smith, Mikal Bridges, all those guys, like you're going to be a role player, especially on a team with a lot of veteran guys. You might get some minutes for sure, but I think he plays the right way, and I think he's attentive, and I think that's a big thing at Kansas. I think that's like a lot of Kansas guys just play the right way. Like Andrew Wiggins just plays the right way.
Yeah, good shout.
But definitely is a pretty jumper for sure.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, the jumper is pure. Plays bigger on defense than his size.
He has good spatial awareness on defense. Like he moves and fronts and rotates well and puts his chest up, goes straight up.
Yeah, he had a couple blocks. I think he had 2 blocks in the last game, or maybe versus the Cavs or something. But I think he just plays defense well, and which is exactly what we said. He's a 3-and-D guy.
Plug and play.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
Love him.
I think the Nets got a great. I mean, 51. That's a steal. I don't know if he's going to actually play a ton of minutes, but
I wish you took him at
49 and you took Emoni
49 and we took Emoni at 51. That'd be elite.
I mean, either way, I wouldn't have cared. I like Emoni now, so.
Oh, okay. I'm real hype on this kid, Colin. Bo.
Yeah. So, Colin Castleton kind of came out of nowhere. I saw nothing about this guy before the draft, and considering neither of us are big college guys, like we're like
what's it called, right?
Florida.
Yes.
I think, considering that me and Finn don't watch college all that often, if at all, we probably watched more summer league than we have college last season, which is besides March Madness. Besides March Madness, I watched March Madness, but this kid looks like he can be a bench guy. I think he could steal minutes from Jackson Hayes, which is crazy to think about. Which is crazy.
No, he's. I love his. He's Hall of Fame glass cleaner.
Yeah. So
Hall of Fame glass cleaner.
One of my notes was this guy just attacks the fucking glass. He just attacks it.
Yeah, that is on your notes.
I think he's gonna be a rebounder for sure. He doesn't have the most bounce.
Dude, you also have on your notes. Doesn't look like he has a lot of bounce.
Yeah, he doesn't. It doesn't look
That's
like
my first time looking down at your notes the whole video, and it just says doesn't look like he has a lot of bounce.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there was a couple plays like someone threw him a lob and barely like
he is a good passer though.
Yeah, great passer.
Very good vision, like Jokic vibes, not like Jokic vibes.
I mean that's the level, but
you know what I mean.
Definitely for a big, he's a good passer. You saw a couple plays. There was one where he's 3-point line, threw a bounce pass through the lane to a guy cutting.
Backdoor on the left side. I saw that one.
All that kind of stuff. Like I think he was leading the Lakers in assists in the summer league. I don't know if I just heard that or I'm making that up, but it's possible that he is like per game. And then also like his go-to post move is like kind of like a push floater hook thing.
I peeped, dude.
It's interesting, but it goes in.
Balls where they like drop it in.
Yeah, it's like soft and like it'll roll around the rim if it doesn't go straight in.
Yeah, I peeped the one that went. It's that little knuckleball though, bro, where they face up and they feel whatever weight is on, and they go to the other side with the little.
Yeah, I think obviously in the future he used to work on the left-handed one and as well as other post moves. I mean, that's what you get. Pretty sure he was undrafted.
It's super good if you have something like that in your bag, like that little bump push coming off your left shoulder like this. To incorporate once you hit somebody with that, like a little shimmy and then fade off your right foot. So hopefully you can get a fadeaway jumper in there.
Yeah, I mean, and he looks at like not athletic, like jumping, but like he's like athletic laterally to me, more than I would have expected from a big, to be honest. But I think he has the makings to be pretty solid. I don't know if he'll get minutes in year one. He'll probably be in the G League, but like
he's ready to be a bench guy, according to Matt.
I think he could. I mean, I like Jackson Hayes a lot. I think Jackson Hayes will be fun for the Lakers for sure. It'll provide like a spark of running the floor, all that kind of stuff. But I think this kid can come in if you need some rebounding help because Jackson Hayes isn't doing it. I think he could do something. He's just like it sounds bad, but he's a tryhard.
He does bust his ass, and
Like,
he has good vision, bro. He has that little nice dump down bounce pass.
Yeah. See, he's a guy that can make plays out of the post.
Yeah, that's a good example. But I mean, that's a guy who grew up in the American system.
True. But moving on to the last two guys, both on the Houston Rockets, Cam
Love these cats.
and Jabari Smith. We had Cam Whitmore going 5 in our mock draft to the Pistons.
Pretty early.
But obviously there was concerns with him dropping, and boy, did he drop all the way to 20.
I read he lost like $15 million.
I mean, yeah, the contracts in the top 5 compared to elsewhere are insane.
Lost
if you
like
get drafted in the second round, I don't even know if you make $1 million anymore.
He lost like $15.9 million.
Yeah, crazy. But I mean, if he plays like how he is, he'll make it back.
Totally, yeah, he's phenomenal. I love his. He's another guy who has good fluid movement patterns.
Yeah. He's a crazy athlete, obviously. I don't know if he is like the jumping out of the gym like you can see from like a job, but like obviously this guy's 6 foot like 6 or something.
Good sense.
Yeah. And I think one of the things is that he's definitely a bigger guy. Like you could like if he wanted to play linebacker, he looks like
he's a little husky.
Yeah. But he uses it well. Like he's a super aggressive, like tenacious guy on both ends. Like he's front court, like if you want to block, he'll give you a straight up block. He'll go right into you and block you. If you want a play where he puts his shoulder down through you, he'll do it.
Kenny Lofton vibes.
Yeah, but just more muscular.
Yeah.
But I also my two things that one's kind of a positive and a negative. The jumper looks smooth. It's been going in, but it's
making them.
Yeah, it's a little slow. Like the base
not really
of it,
good pull up.
Yeah, like it's definitely a set shot for sure. But that's like my only gripe with his shooting. He's been making them, so I can't like hate on it. And then the other thing is that it kind of has a weakish handle, and I think quicker guys will take advantage of that in the NBA. But I mean, he uses his jabs well, so as long as he doesn't put the ball on the floor and try and do behind the backs and whatever, I think he'll be good. But
he was getting ripped.
Yeah, I think the jab step is there. And then the other end of the spectrum, Jabari Smith, probably the best player in Summer League so far. I mean, he is a second-year guy, top 3 pick. But, I mean, he just looks ultra confident.
Comfortable.
I don't know if it's just Summer League. Because, like,
it's
obviously,
I didn't play in the NBA and it's Summer League guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't watch a ton of Houston Rockets games last year. But I didn't see this in any of the games I watched.
I mean, Matt, it is kid. He's playing against kids.
I know, but he's a kid. He's my age, dude.
I know, but once you felt those bodies, like, I know. I all the credit in the world. He's fucking balling.
I just think the jumper looks it doesn't look different. It just looks like more
confident, comfortable.
Yeah, like it just looks like he's supposed to be shooting the shot, opposed to I have to shoot this. I'm open.
I like when he pushes. Like I think he's someone who can, like, not play point guard and still dictate the pace of an offense.
Yeah, like especially in Summer League when the ball's.
That's what I mean for like right now.
Yeah, like ball's flowing through him, like he's controlling it. He looks comfortable, and I think that's kind of what we were reiterating with Wemby. It's like it takes a year. I mean, even from like in America, like going to college, like it takes a year, and also like he was the guy on Auburn, and he was supposed to go number 1, until the Magic we all thought kind of screwed up and ended up taking the right guy. But I think Jabari Smith is going to be really, really good eventually. I just think.
How tall is he?
6'9", 6'10".
6'9". Okay.
He's like kind of like he's like a bigger Emoni Bates to me, really, like literally. Definitely different kind of style. Like he's not crossing guys up and shooting a step back.
There's some real ballers in the Summer League this year.
Yeah, I tell you, it feels different, dude. But
it's intense. The games have been intense.
Yeah. Also, you can't bet it now because the odds are shit. But I bet the Cavs win the Summer League at 1,100. So let's win that thing, boys. But that's a wrap for this video. We appreciate you guys being here. If you made it all the way, thank you. It's everything you kind of missed in Summer League, the biggest stars so far, in our opinion. Smash that like button. Turn noties on. Check out the shorts. Check out the YouTube. Check it all out. We'll see you guys.
Let us know if you agree or disagree with anything we said here. We're ready to debate and defend our honor in the comments.
Yeah, we'll be getting active in the comments. All right. Later, guys. Peace.